Hi everybody, John from Jones here to talk about our dry red flight. We have 3 wines for you that we're going to go through individually. What I'm going to do is make sure you have a chance to pause after each wine so you don't have to rush your tasting. I want you to just enjoy yourself, enjoy your company, and enjoy the day. I'm going to start by doing a little bit about tasting. What I like to do, like my very first sip, just a quick one. Basically, that's just to clear out any flavors that I have lingering in my mouth. When you taste something now, you're going to get some leftover from what you just had before, so that way it kind of evens the field. When I do take a real sip, you notice I'm using water instead of wine. It may look and sound silly, but when you slosh that wine around in your mouth, and try to leave it in for about 5 seconds, you're going to activate all the taste receptors inside your mouth, not just on your tongue. So you'd be surprised at how much more intense the flavors get when you do something like that. So let's get to the wines. Our very first wine is Ripton Red, and this is another one of the original wines that Jamie made, started going back to 2004. It's a blend of varietals that often come from California because many of those grapes we just cannot grow here in Connecticut. And so the blend varies a little bit different each year. What you do get, though, is a really nice, smooth, easy drinking wine. And that's the goal for this wine. A lot of black fruits, black cherry, other cherries. It's really, really a nice wine that is so versatile. You could have this with anything from roast chicken to burgers. I've had it with pasta. I've had it with steaks. You can have it for virtually anything. If you're ever stuck and you have to bring a bottle of wine to somebody's house and you don't know what they're going to have, the Ripton's a really good choice for that because it goes with just so many things. So enjoy the wine, take your time, and we'll be back in just a moment. Okay, welcome back. We're going to go to number 2. That's the Cabernet Franc, and this is an estate bottled wine, which means that every bit of it came from the Jones family farm's vineyard. And it's about 90% Cabernet Franc, 10% Merlot that is grown right here on our property. Cabernet Franc is a grape you see widely in the Loire Valley and in Bordeaux, both in France, but it turns out it grows very well here in Connecticut. And what you're going to get are really a whole lot of different flavors. You're going to see some red fruits, some cherries, some currants, some plums. It's really showing well right now, the Cab Franc, and it's really opened up, is what I'd like to call it. And so when you do your swirl and do your sniff, you're going to really get a lot of different flavors. It's almost hard to pick out all the flavors. But Cabernet Franc is another versatile wine. It's great with pretty much everything. I would easily have this with turkey. I'd have it with salmon, roast chicken, the beefs, things like that. It's a great vegetarian wine too if you do a lot of veggies. But what's interesting about Cabernet Franc is many people thought that this was an offspring of Cabernet Sauvignon when it's the opposite. Cabernet Franc in nature crossed with Sauvignon Blanc, and the baby was Cabernet Sauvignon. The Cabernet Sauvignon is a little more full-bodied, a little deeper in color, a little more tannin, but unfortunately it just doesn't really grow here in Connecticut. So if you want to grow something in the Cabernet family, Cabernet Franc is the one to try, and give it a swirl and a sniff and enjoy. Okay, we're going to move on to number 3, and this is a fairly recent wine for the Jones family. This one's called Red Orchid, and the blend is a little bit different from what we usually have. It's Petit Syrah, Zin, and Malbec. And again, these are grapes you just can't really grow in Connecticut successfully. So we bring them in from California and then make the wine. Those grapes, if you know those grapes, they're going to be more full-bodied. It's going to be a little bit bigger wine, which many people want in a wine. They like a big, bold red, and so that's what we wanted to produce with this one here. It's got that kind of ripe jamminess that Zinfandel is known for, and so you get those great flavors. And this is a wine that will hold up to pretty much intense foods. When I try to match foods and wines, I think of the intensity of the flavors and how is the wine strong enough to hold up to that. And this will certainly do that for a lot of things. If I could have anything with this, it would be barbecue ribs. I just love those with that barbecue sauce, and this wine is a great partner for those sorts of foods. So give it a try. Remember, it's going to be the boldest of all 3. That's why we serve it in the last part there. And As always, thank you for supporting your local farmers, and don't forget to bring home that Dragonfly glass. Take care.